Hi guys, it's Aaron here from Life Excel. I hope everybody's doing well during these uncertain times. They truly are tricky times. First and foremost, I do want to apologise for not uploading videos more frequently. I have been absolutely rushed off my feet in the past year dealing with the damage done from the coronavirus pandemic and also from some new ventures that we've launched during lockdown. For those of you who haven't seen my videos before, just to remind you, I have a digital marketing agency. I have a supercar competitions company where we raffle off cars, and lastly we've stepped into the arena of Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. So exciting times ahead. We're just building two of these ventures up to where we want them. One's already up and established, so I've been very busy, as you can tell. But the point of this video is all about pressure. Now, I've been facing pressure that I've never faced before in the past year. It's been absolutely unreal. So this is something I want to talk to you guys about today. Maybe you're in university, maybe you're in college, maybe you're in a job, maybe you've got big goals and you are facing some real pressure, and sometimes it is hard to cope with it. I know it's a bit of a taboo subject. People feel like you are weak or you can't bring it up with a manager or a family friend as they get worried. But pressure, it's a part of life. You're going to face pressures every day, every month, every year for the rest of your life. It's just a matter of how you handle them or how you view them even. I personally view pressure as it's just a challenge on how fast I can get over it, but other people feel like, oh, there's a lot of pressure, there's something wrong in my life. It's not that. You just need to solve it quickly and then move on to the next one. Quick story about me and my pressure growing up. I had a speech disorder for the first 13 years of my life. Now, I had a severe stammer and it was very hard for me to communicate with people, to talk to people, to socialize, as every word, I would more or less stutter on. It might take me 2 to 3 seconds to say a single word. And growing up, you're still young, your mind's young, you haven't got a strong mindset, so it was very pressuresome for me growing up. Now, when I hit around 15, I overcame that and I started to become more confident. I started to socialize more, and I grew out of my stammer essentially. After 2 years of finishing university, I went on and set up my own business, which then flourished over the next 3 years. And I mean, that's a great achievement, but I will tell you, one of my greatest achievements in life is at that point, the end of that 3-year term, realizing that pressure that I had felt growing up was a pressure that I made myself. Honestly, I'm telling you now, a majority of pressures you can solve almost instantly. It's just a mindset thing. So let's get into it. One of the most common examples of pressure is pressure from family. Now, that's probably the elephant in the room. They have very good intentions for you. They want you to do well, and they want their little boy or girl to go on and achieve big things, right? And that sometimes leads you down the road of them forcing you to go down a certain career path, or they expect you to do a certain job. The reality is, your parents do really have good intentions for you. The problem is they're just seeing things from their perspective. Again, they're from a different culture. They were brought up in a different time where there was a different mentality. The world's changed drastically, and as we know, not everybody responds to change well. I mean, who doesn't want to see their child do well in their studies, right? That there creates a lot of pressure for young people, as we all learn and grow in different ways. Some of us are naturally academic, some people are more hands-on. The problem with the education system today is we are judging how well a monkey, a turtle and a dog can climb a tree. Of course, the monkey has the natural advantage, so it's always going to win. I read a quote once that said this: "Comparison is the thief of joy. Why would you steal your own joy and happiness?" There is absolutely zero logic in comparing your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 21. So don't worry where everybody else is. Just look at your own abilities and where you can improve. It sounds very cliche, I know, but that is honestly the best way. You focus on yourself, you think about where you're going, and you tailor your whole situation and your decisions around your abilities. Don't copy the next person. Their abilities are different. They may be naturally academic, or they may have other strengths that you don't. You have strengths that they don't have. That's one of the major problems in this world. We're all going down the same path. However, we all have different capabilities. Stick to your capabilities, play to your strengths, and go for it. There's a quote that the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, said, and it went like this: "Stress comes from things that we ignore, Now just think about that. Now in certain circumstances that doesn't apply, like my speech disorder, as it couldn't be controlled. It was a natural thing, I was born with it. Nobody could have controlled that. But other pressures in life, such as increased workload, taking on too much, or just thinking about things too much, these are self-created. We have created them. It's because you are ignoring something, stress is occurring. For example, if you have a career, you have a job, and you feel like there's too much workload on, find a way to be more efficient with how you do the work. Find a way to streamline it so that you cut down your man hours on the work, but the productivity remains or increases. You know, sometimes big, massive companies do have their disadvantages as they can't see the individual things going on in the organization. Another solution is maybe talk to somebody in higher management. Now, I know there's a big thing around this and you don't want to seem weak to your managers. After all, they are there to manage people, to help people grow, and to help you and support you through your career. Or maybe you are an entrepreneur like me and you have so much going on. You have 3-4 different companies. That means dealing with 3-4 sets of people, suppliers, tasks, phone calls, negotiations, emails. It gets a lot sometimes, honestly, and I can see why a lot of entrepreneurs suffer from anxiety or stress. Nevertheless, stop ignoring things. That's where the stress comes in, right? If you feel like you've got too much on, do you know on Upwork or Fiverr you can outsource workload for as little as $5 an hour? That is crazy. After having the conversations with managers, after outsourcing the work and just kind of simplifying things in your head, you'll find that you're allowed to live a calmer life, as you know things are taken care of. You're not all of a sudden overwhelmed by 10, 15 different things. Find solutions. Again, Jeff Bezos said, stress comes from things we ignore. So how does pressure affect performance? Honestly, I think you know the answer to that. It affects performance massively, you know, because your mind's so preoccupied on other things that happened yesterday or maybe a week ago or 10 days ago. You are suffering in the quality of the decisions in the present. You know, when there's a decision to be made now, because your mind's just somewhere else, you're not really focused and you can't make a logical decision about what's happening now in front of you. That's when you find stress piles up, pressure will start to pile up. So I've given you a few examples of pressures. We've kind of gone through what happens and how it affects performance as well. So what does Aaron do when he's facing pressure in his life? My family know exactly what I'm like. And when I am feeling the heat, which is very often, I have to space out from everybody. That includes my partner, that includes my family, my friends, everybody. I just have to have my own space. And again, I've informed my family, look, this is how I work. It's nothing personal if I'm ignoring your calls for the day. It's just means that I'm dealing with stuff that's important to me and I have to work through it to get onto the next day properly and efficiently. I might take a pen and pad and I'll write down the pressures. Again, I don't put a overemphasis or importance on these pressures. To me, they're just tasks that need to be completed for me to move on and move forward with the next hour or the next day. Something you can do is take the tasks and separate them by which ones can be solved instantly and which ones can't. So for example, right, I have a team of virtual assistants that work for me. So what I can do is, if I feel that I'm facing pressure because there's too much workload, I can just make a simple Skype call or a WhatsApp message and get my virtual assistants to take over the workload. And also, by simply writing down these tasks and pressures and ticking them off one by one, it gives you a sense of relief, and there is psychology behind it to prove that when you physically tick something off with a pen, you do feel a sense of relief. There you go, guys. That's another video for you on how to deal with pressures. Maybe it's helped you. I'd love to hear. Just put it in the comments, or what type of videos that you would like to see next. Honestly, during these uncertain times, especially with the coronavirus pandemic, please take care of your mental health. Do not put an overemphasis or an overimportance on these pressures. Just simplify them one by one. Just try it, pen, pad, write them down, get them into level of importance and just tick them off one by one and keep repeating it. You'll soon find that it will become a habit. So guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe as well. Appreciate it. Until next time.